Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today you're getting a confession from a PlayStation fanboy. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We are going to be talking about why PlayStation fanboys consider PlayStation first party games higher quality than any other game. Now, this all started back with the PlayStation 4 Pro, at least for me anyways. For PlayStation 4 all the way back to PlayStation 1 back before, it never really turned up to where like, oh yeah, man, the PlayStation has better quality games than everything else. No, man, PlayStation 2, Devil May Cry looked as good as God of War. God of War looked as good as Devil May Cry. It didn't matter. Like everything felt pretty consistent across the board. PlayStation 3 was pretty much the same way. Everything pretty much felt consistent across the board. You know, I mean, like there was a couple outliers. You know, like maybe the Uncharted games definitely looked a little better than, like the Ubisofts and the Capcoms and all of that stuff. But then you started getting into the PlayStation 4. For the first little while, it was pretty consistent, I would say. It wasn't too, yeah, Killzone, Shadowfall looked pretty good. But there were other games out there that looked, like Titanfall on the Xbox. They looked pretty good. They looked pretty comparable. They looked like they were like, oh man, this is what the new consoles are going to do. This is the graphics that they're going to put out. But then we get to the PlayStation 4 Pro. PlayStation 4 Pro, which was designed more to take advantage of a 4K screen. People were moving into 4K screens. I believe that Sony just upped the power of the PlayStation 4 Pro to deliver a better VR experience with PlayStation VR. That's what I think. I don't think they ever intended that thing to really be like a 4K machine, or it would have been 6 teraflops like the Xbox One X. We started to notice a difference. PlayStation first party games were starting to look really good on a 4K TV. Like Horizon. So I think the first one I got was like Horizon Zero Dawn, and that looked incredible. And then we're like, whoa, man. And then we started getting, like God of War 2018. We got Spider-Man. We got freaking Ghost of Tsushima. We got like all of these other games that looked incredible. But you look back at Bloodborne and you're like, oh boy, look at that thing, man. Like it looked good, like at the time when it came out. But we were starting to notice this, like, whoa, man, these PlayStation games are looking freaking incredible. They look good, and everybody started, like, foaming at the mouth over how beautiful and how amazing these things were. But then you would have other games. Like Shadow of the Tomb Raider got close. Tomb Raider, like the Tomb Raider games were starting to get close. You had other stuff, like the Final Fantasy or whatever. Some of these other third-party developers, like the super AAAs, like the Call of Duty stuff like that, they were doing pretty okay. But like, there was a lot of games that just were not holding up. You would have games coming out at 1080p. You'd have games coming out at less than 1440p. You had such a disparity over the PlayStation 4 through the PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 4 Pro console that it was like, oh boy, what is going on? Like you had God of War looking freaking incredible, and then right next to that you had Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PlayStation 4 Pro looking a little bit off because of the checkerboard rendering, and it didn't look nowhere near as good as it looked on the Xbox One X. So then we fast forward over to PlayStation 5. You got these PlayStation first party games coming out with really high fidelity visuals, ray tracing, all of this other stuff, really super fast loading times, but your third party are starting to lag. Your third party games are starting to lag. They're starting to fall behind it visual wise. You're starting to get games running at like 1800p. You're starting to get games that are running, closer to 1440p. You're getting games like Dying Light 2 that's running at 1080p at 60 frames a second. And you're scratching your head and you're like, wait, why is this not translating? The PlayStation, like these PlayStation games, Horizon Forbidden West looks incredible. Why are we not getting that consistency across the board with the PlayStation games? Well, I'll tell you, man, this is what it is. The PlayStation first party games get way more time. They got way bigger budgets, and they're not trying to develop for all of the different consoles. So they can focus on the consoles that they're making them for. And they can do that. But PlayStation's also fallen short too. You're getting games like Gran Turismo 7 that are coming out and like, wow, dude, this just looks like an upgraded Gran Turismo Sport. You're getting Horizon Forbidden West when it first launches, and you're like, whoa, man, this does not look that good. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, it's better, it's shiny. And That's where your PlayStation fanboys are really starting to get this superiority complex. These games are average games. They play like average games. They look like average game. I mean, they look better than average games for the most part, but they're average games. They're not like, oh, in terms of gameplay or anything else, they're pretty average. So, if you're a PlayStation fan, like I used to be, man, and PlayStation's your one and only console, like you're trapped in that ecosystem, and it's all you're seeing is like these really amazing first party PlayStation games, but then all these other games are just not close to the quality you're getting with the PlayStation games. You're scratching your head and you're thinking, yeah, man, PlayStation games are just freaking incredible. These games are so good that they're like, whoa. And even the PlayStation developers believe that too, because now you got Naughty Dog coming out and they're like, yeah, dude, whatever, we'll just make the game look better and we'll charge them $70 and they'll buy it. They'll eat it up. And I'm like, whoa, dude, no, that game's not worth $70. I literally have PlayStation fanboys in my comment section telling me I'm wrong, that that's a great game, that it's going to be amazing. And I'm like, no, guys, just wait. Like, you're going to play that game and you're going to be thinking, oh yeah, I played Last of Us 2, and like you're going to play that and it's going to feel clunky compared to The Last of Us 2, and you're going to be like, what the heck? And then you're going to get a little bit, you're going to start, something's going to change in you, and you're going to start to feel disappointed, and you're going to be like, oh, but it looks so good. And then you'll keep playing it, and then you'll just be like, oh yeah, I mean, it was great. And then you'll just keep telling yourself, because the visuals are good, that it's quality. No, guys, this is such a cash grab. It's not even funny. Me personally, just looking at that gameplay, I can tell you, I'm like, dude, that looks clunky. And 30 frames a second, that's going to feel trash. That's going to feel real trash. At 60 frames a second, you're not going to get all that beautiful visuals that you paid for. It's a trade-off, man. Like, if you want to play the game and actually it feel good, you're not going to have that good of visuals. If you want to look at the game and not really play it, then, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a trade-off with PlayStation. It's not even funny. I would be more appreciative if PlayStation would just launch a game, have it come out and be like 60 frames and look good. Ooh, I'd be happy. But they're spreading their resources, man. They're trying to develop these two modes, and it's like, man, I do like the idea of it. You know, like, me personally, they put these 40 FPS modes in these games, and I don't touch them. Like, I don't care. That's still not good to me. It still feels like I'm playing a 30 frames per second game. I don't care, man. Digital Foundry cannot save that for me, because I am a smart person, and I have a PlayStation 5, and I have a 120 hertz TV, and I play it on there, and I'm like, yeah, dude, it doesn't even look as good as it used to. It lost visual clarity to go to the 40 FPS mode, and I don't care what they say, dude. I can see it with my own freaking eyes. And I know you can too. And I know a lot of you guys feel the same way I do about this as well, or you wouldn't watch my channel. I mean, even though you guys come and say like negative things all the time, I know you believe this stuff too, and it's okay, man. Like, I want PlayStation to be better as well. I do. I want them to compete. I want them to do better, but this kind of stuff, man, like trying to sell you an old game for $70, no, man. Somebody's got to call them on this stuff, man. And if you guys aren't going to stand by me and speak with your wallets, you're just going to keep getting suckered into this stuff, and they're going to keep taking advantage of you, because it's low-hanging fruit, man. If you're a corporation and you're trying to make a lot of money, and you're trying to just, you guys always say that Game Pass is just filling the thing with filler and everything else. That's what PlayStation's doing, but they're just charging you $70 for it. It's filler, man. They're bringing out a bunch of filler so they can get it out there fast, and they're charging you $70 for it, man. Babylon's Fall, bro. I mean, at least when Xbox brings out filler like Crossfire X, it was like $10, man. You spent $10 on that, and you got to play it for 5 hours. You know what I mean? When Xbox comes out with filler, it is appropriately priced. Now, Stray, that's fine. I mean, I want a jump button. That's my only problem with that game. I want a jump button. Everything else I could be okay with. I want a dedicated jump button. That's the only real problem I have with it. But everything else, like, man, you guys, that's I mean, I don't feel bad about them putting that into the PlayStation Plus service. Like, that's awesome. PlayStation Plus Premium is the best value I've gotten on my PlayStation 5 since I bought it, and I've bought everything to date that's come out for it. So this is not me taking a jab at PlayStation. This is me just trying to let people understand that this is the way I felt. This were my feelings about it. This is how I feel. I feel like the only reason PlayStation games are considered quality is because other developers don't have the time, the resources, or the actual freaking, or they don't have access to inside knowledge like PlayStation does to make their games look better, run better, and do all this other stuff. That's it. That's the only reason PlayStation quality is better. So, yeah, I don't know. Don't let them run away with your money, man. Don't let them run away with your money. Make them work for it. Make them work for it. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.